On February 2, 1943, Field Marshal Friedrich Paulus emerged from the basement of a ruined department store in Stalingrad. He had not seen daylight in weeks. He had not eaten a full meal in months. Around him, what remained of the German Sixth Army, once the most powerful fighting force on the Eastern Front, was surrendering in broken groups across a frozen cityscape of rubble and corpses. 91,000 German soldiers were taken prisoner that day. Of those 91,000, fewer than 6,000 would ever see Germany again. The Battle of Stalingrad lasted 199 days. It consumed 2 million lives. It destroyed the myth of German invincibility. But the story that history tells about Stalingrad misses the real reason 300,000 German soldiers ended up trapped inside a frozen city with no way out. That reason was a single order, given by one man. Against the advice of every competent military mind in Germany. It was given not because of military necessity, but because of pride. Stalingrad is the most studied battle of World War II, and yet the question at its center is rarely asked directly. Why didn't the Germans break out? They had the chance, multiple chances. Their commanders begged for permission. The math was clear, the window was open. Stalingrad wasn't lost on the battlefield. It was lost in a headquarters 1,200 miles away, and understanding that distinction changes everything about how we read the rest of World War II. By the summer of 1942, Operation Barbarossa has failed to deliver its knockout blow. Hitler launches Case Blue, aimed at the Caucasus oil fields and the Volga River. Standing in the way is a city on the Volga Bend, a city that bears Stalin's name. Hitler does not originally plan to take Stalingrad, but as resistance stiffens, the battle takes on personal meaning for both dictators. Stalin issues Order 227, not one step back. Every soldier who retreats without orders faces summary execution. The man assigned to take the city is General Friedrich Paulus, so loyal to Hitler that his staff privately call him the perfect instrument. He follows orders without question. That loyalty will destroy his army. Opposing him, General Vasily Chuikov. He develops hugging the enemy. Keep German forces so close to Soviet lines that the Luftwaffe cannot bomb without hitting their own men. Turn every building into a fortress. Make every room a battle. By November 1942, the German Sixth Army controls 90% of the city. What no one on the German side has noticed is that the flanks are exposed for 300 miles on each side. Zhukov has noticed. On November 19, 1942, Operation Uranus begins. 1.1 million Soviet soldiers attack the Romanian flank simultaneously from north and south. The Romanians break in hours. Within 4 days, the two Soviet pincers meet at Kalash-on-Don. 300,000 German soldiers are encircled. Paulus requests immediate breakout permission. The window is narrow but open. Hitler's answer, hold position. Göring has promised the Luftwaffe can deliver 500 tons of supplies per day. Paulus's logistics officers know the number is impossible. The realistic maximum is 100 tons. The order stands. Field Marshal von Manstein is given a relief force. By December 19th, his panzers are just 30 miles from the pocket's edge. He sends a coded message to Paulus. Break out now. Move toward us. Paulus requests permission from Hitler to break out. Hitler refuses. In a moment, we're going to look at the final weeks inside the Stalingrad pocket, what 300,000 men experienced as temperature dropped to -30 and food ran out, and at the promotion Hitler gave Paulus in his final hours, and what it was designed to make him do. Stay with us. By January 1943, Sixth Army soldiers are surviving on 50 grams of bread per day. Men are amputating frostbitten limbs without anesthesia. The Luftwaffe air bridge has delivered an average of 94 tons per day, 1/5 of what Göring promised. On January 30th, 1943, the 10th anniversary of Hitler's rise to power, the Führer promotes Friedrich Paulus to Field Marshal. It is the cruelest promotion in military history. No German field marshal has ever surrendered. The promotion is a message. Paulus is expected to die in Stalingrad. to provide the regime with a heroic death to celebrate on the anniversary of its founding. Paulus does not comply. On February 2, 1943, he surrenders. The first German field marshal to be taken prisoner in the war. Hitler is reportedly speechless with rage. He tells his staff that Paulus had the opportunity for immortality and chose personal survival instead. The final tally, 800,000 Axis casualties, 1.1 million Soviet casualties, 91,000 German prisoners, of whom only 6,000 will survive Soviet captivity. The Sixth Army has ceased to exist. Joseph Goebbels declared 3 days of national mourning, the first time Germany publicly acknowledged a defeat. The myth of the invincible German soldier had been shattered in a single announcement. Strategically, Stalingrad ended Germany's ability to conduct large-scale offensive operations on the Eastern Front. From February 1943 onward, the Wehrmacht would fight defensively, yielding ground, buying time, but never threatening its strategic objectives again. Historian Antony Beevor writes that Stalingrad represented the spiritual turning point of the war, not just for its strategic consequences, but because of what it revealed about the regime that had caused it. Every soldier who froze to death in January 1943 had been placed there by a command system that prioritized Hitler's prestige over military reality. A system that had fired every general capable of saying the words Hitler most needed to hear, "This position cannot be held." 300,000 German soldiers were trapped at Stalingrad, not because the Soviet army was stronger, not because the German soldier fought poorly, and not because of the Russian winter. They were trapped because a single man, 1,200 miles away, could not admit he had made a mistake. The breakout window was open. Manstein was 30 miles away. Paulus had fuel and ammunition and fighting strength, and Hitler said no. That one word condemned 294,000 men to death or captivity. It is the most consequential no in military history. Next week, Erwin Rommel and the German generals who understood by late 1943 that the war was lost and what they chose to do about it. Subscribe. Because the story of what the German officer corps knew, and when they knew it, is one of the most disturbing chapters of World War II.